Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Pleb Underground, the signal without the slop. I hope you guys had an awesome weekend. A whole lot of stuff happened over the weekend. We are going to dive into it. And of course, as you guys know, the news never ends. We just have more. And of course, as there's more indecision in the space and a whole bunch of people trying to sell you all the different narratives, nobody knows what's going on. And we're here to try to make sense of it all, or at the very least, have some fun, right? Let's have a little bit of fun. Anyways, so first off, Indiana House introduces Bitcoin bill. We're going to take a look at that. JP Morgan, more knee bending. We enjoy watching that. Some hodling stats. What are those about? Should you hodl? Take a look to see how well that's worked out for some people. The Exodus CEO, another price prediction. Western Union bending the knee, but are they? Are they? We're going to dive into that. Yeah, the IMF. The IMF is put out a report, a 2025 report of some scary stuff. Scary for them. Not really so scary if you hold on to Bitcoin. We're going to take a look at some stats for the Lightning Network, and going to give a shout out to our boy Ant 2140 Data. Right? He does timechainstats.com, and he does the time chain arcade as well. And now he's got this new website, Time Chain Explorer, that looks absolutely cool. It's like a 3D rendition of the Bitcoin block universe. We're going to take a look at that. And of course, guys, there's a whole bunch of people now that have, especially bigger influencers, have decided that that's okay. It's nice to talk about Samurai, and Samurai's okay. So now, they're on the big let's free Samurai thing. So we are obviously going to cover that. We have been covering that before it was popular. And yeah, I'm going to say that because a whole lot of people are only talking about it now because it's okay. Yeah, well, screw you. Anyways, before we dive into all that stuff, the deal. Going to give a shout out to the Pleb Underground sponsor, and we're going to be right back to dive into all the fun. Let's frickin' go.
Pleb Underground is sponsored by Archimedes Emporium. Discover the pinnacle of precision engineering, starting with their Bitcoin logo wall clock, meticulously machined in Maine from a solid block of aerospace-grade aluminum, ensuring unparalleled durability and performance. Experience the difference of a product made without compromise. Head on over to Archimedes Emporium.
All right. Let's dive into it. Here we go. So, JP Morgan says it's sticking to its Bitcoin versus gold model, which would see Bitcoin hit 170K over the next year. JPM, are you kind of bearish? Been bearish compared to some other people, maybe. Anyways, so the Indiana bill. Right? The Indiana bill that would mandate Bitcoin in pensions and shield self-custody rights. Obviously, there's a little bit more to that, right? It's not just cut and dry. So here we go. This is actually a nice summary of it. So the Indiana lawmakers have introduced a bill that would allow state savings and retirement programs to invest in Bitcoin and crypto ETFs. It's really just ETFs, right? It's not, you're not actually allowed to go and purchase Bitcoin, right? Like you have to go and buy shares of the ETF, which, as we know, right, the ETFs are mandated to purchase Bitcoin when people purchase their shares. We get that. But of course, there's just that layer of friction. Always. The proposal stops short of permitting direct crypto purchases, limiting public investments to exchange trade. It's always about the moat. It's always about their control. Yeah. Anyways, eligible programs include the 529 Education Savings Plan and Retirement Fund for teachers, public employees, and lawmakers. Other state investment pools would also be allowed to allocate to crypto ETFs. The bill would additionally restrict how local governments regulate crypto to prevent discriminatory rules. You mean like stopping people from buying Bitcoin directly? That's no, that's it doesn't matter. It's okay. It bars taxes on using digital currency for payment and blocks local bans on crypto mining in industrial zones or noise rules specifically targeting minors. Okay, so it just sounds like a bunch of constraints, and we're going to let you own Bitcoin in this capacity. Okay, fair enough. I get it. People could say, well, it's a step in the right direction, 5D chess, blah, blah, blah. All right, sure. You could take that as a small win. Why not? We'll take it as a small win. But yeah, I don't, until I see them actually saying, hey, look, you could just go purchase Bitcoin directly, or this sounds crazy, just purchase Bitcoin yourself. Then you don't have to rely on the state to screw you in your old age. Anyways. So the nature of the hodl. Okay. And this is true, guys. This is absolutely true. I am living proof of this. Many Bitcoiners are living proof of this. Most people just have extremely high time preference behavior. And for whatever reason, a lot of us just can't seem to stand still. However, if you decide to stand still with Bitcoin, you're going to make it. Okay? You're going to make it. So if you hold Bitcoin for 3 years or more, your odds of losing money are basically zero. So people have a choice. They could go dance in the shitcoin casino, see what happens, right? Maybe they come out without their clothes, right? Maybe who knows what happens, right? Maybe they get totally wrecked. Or you could just go do a real job, provide value, limit your expenses, take your savings, buy Bitcoin. Seems so easy. It really does seem so easy. For some reason, it's really difficult. Anyways. All right. Let's take a look at some comments here out of the Exodus CEO. Let's see what he had to say.
I think that at some point in time, we're going to see Bitcoin cross the market cap of gold. And so Bitcoin has a market cap today of roughly, 1.8 trillion. And gold has a market cap of roughly 18 trillion. And so for Bitcoin to cross that market cap, I mean, that's roughly, a 10x from here. So roughly $900,000 a coin. I think we're going to see $1 million a coin. Does that happen in the next few years? Maybe, maybe not. But I definitely think that within the next year, we will see Bitcoin cross $200,000. And I think that what's going to happen is again, the Fed is going to cut interest rates.
Yeah, everybody's hoping on that. There is so much, in case you can't tell, right? When you're taking a look at Bitcoin right now, what's our block heights? 927,012. What are we sitting at? 90K. 90K. I feel like we've just been doing a whipsaw all weekend long. But yeah, there is a whole bunch of, in my opinion, there's a whole bunch of indecision in the market, but the market itself is still sitting in a bull pattern. So, and I know a lot of people are sitting there saying, guys, this is like typical bear market stuff, right? Where good news doesn't push the market higher. That is correct, right? Like when you get to that stage in a market where all the good news in the world doesn't push the market higher, you'd say to yourself, well, that's a top indeed. But the other aspect of a bear market that we end up seeing is that bad news pushes the market significantly further down. And we're just not seeing that. So you ask me, it's indecision and people are waiting. Hey, good morning. Good morning, Frederick. Good morning, Matt and Turbo, Andy, Z-Logic, and Torup. That's right, living. Okay, let's move on. Got a whole lot of other stuff to take a look at. Okay. Let's go see. Western Union. Let's listen to the CEO's comments.
Rollout looking like for Western Union on that front?
Well, we're already innovating in several places in the world on moving money and settling. So both in South America and in Africa, we are innovating our settlement processes to move money quicker. And
keep in mind, so I was a Western Union investor when they first IPO'd. And you think to yourself, Phil, that business is like over 100 years old. How's that even possible? Yeah, well, they did an IPO in like the early 1900s, right? They ended up IPOing at some point, I think in the 2000s. I got to go back and take a look. But either way, the point is, Western Union has never had to innovate, right? These businesses, they do not move unless they absolutely have to. So this is some solid knee bending coming out of Western Union. But anyways, I'm going to obviously being accurate about it. We're not even talking about Bitcoin. All they care about is stable coins.
And to more easily convert into local currency in partnerships with some of the infrastructure companies you've had on this show. So we are also exploring other partnerships with people who want on-ramps and off-ramps in different parts of the world on how we could enable Western Union's funds in and funds out to enable people to purchase and sell stablecoins. Finally, we're investigating how we might offer stablecoin products in our digital wallets to our customers around the world, again, in partnerships with many of the companies that you've talked to over the course of the last couple of weeks.
Oh, yeah. The gates and the gatekeepers and the moats, right? It's all just playing in their little arena. There's no mention of Bitcoin. Western Union is never going to need to facilitate any Bitcoin payments, okay? It already works. They know that. This is so funny watching this stuff.
What's the balance between this push into that space, and not just with regards to crypto, but overall the more digital strategy that I know you and your team at Western Union have been working on for some time, the balance between that and what we see in the traditional retail side of the business?
Right, and so we have about $1 billion revenue digital business. It's growing, obviously, at faster rates than our traditional retail business. We also think of our retail business not just as cash.
So to shift Happen's point, right? He said Western Union is a disgusting company. The amount of money that they make on money transfer, it absolutely is. Like, essentially, right? They're just ripping off all of their customers because they can. What are you going to do, right? Until MoneyGram, you just had no choice. So... yeah, it's a bad one. Anyways, they don't ever mention Bitcoin. They don't have to mention Bitcoin. It's all about stable coins. Unfortunately, all of that stuff is just always stable coins. It's no surprise. They have no interest in Bitcoin because Bitcoin already works. Okay, it's that simple. Bitcoin already works. They have no interest in it. So, right, these businesses are simply just going to say the same thing over and over again. Stable coins, we're going to facilitate stable coin payments. I'm very curious to see all the types of incentives that they're going to give. Well, obviously, they're going to give you free money, right? Like, we're already starting to see that. But what other incentives that they're going to give in order to get people to just simply use these tokens instead of opting out and hodling and accumulating Bitcoin? So, yeah. Interesting times, guys. Interesting times. All right. That's right. We've got more Hopium. There's so much more Hopium. So, every time the stock RSI on the US 10-year note and the China 10-year make a bullish crossover, a Bitcoin bull run follows, and it just made another bullish crossover. Boom. Bullish crossovers. Who doesn't love that? Right? That's some solid Hopium. Okay, so this means we're about to go higher. Okay, so Bitcoin bull run has resumed. Bitcoin bull run has resumed. Well, not if the IMF has anything to say about it. So here's a post from Dombe. This is an IMF report, right? Understanding stable coins. Very interesting stuff. So they admit, this is the IMF, that fleeing local fiat for Bitcoin or a stable coin, excuse me, apparently the IMF doesn't really like stable coins, is a rational response by citizens in unstable economies, right? So they get it. They get that it's rational, but they warn against it anyways because it decreases the central bank's ability to control its monetary policy. Guys, it doesn't decrease in any way, shape, or form their ability to LARP and pretend, okay? They can continue to LARP and pretend and do whatever it is that they're doing. However, the perception needs to be that it decreases the central bank's ability to control its monetary policy. And that is going to negatively impact you and me in our everyday lives. Because again, right, they're not trying to control us. They're just trying to make sure they can control their monetary policy. It's a load of crap. It is completely a load of crap. The new IMF report implies your privacy is a policy error. But wait a second. I thought you were just trying to control the monetary policy. Why is our privacy a policy error? Anyways, they argue that unhosted wallets create data gaps that prevent them from monitoring the economy. This sounds a lot like Augustus Karsten, right? He said that a few years ago as well, right? And he's from the BIS. Look at that. The BIS and the IMF both agree that if they can't control and see every penny, that somehow this is a problem. It's not a problem for you or me, just so you understand that, right? All of us, we're fine. We're good. They see it as a problem for them and their control. And frankly, I couldn't care less, right? Obviously, why would I care? Why would I care? Anyways, yeah, guys. That's right. The IMF, down bad, failing hard. But I got to tell you, nothing is as ridiculous to me as this thing. Here we go. The mood ring has integrated with TradingView. So your ring can give you real-time haptic feedback on the price of Bitcoin. I got to tell you guys, this is a very bad idea. Especially if you're a hypochondriac or something like that, right? That always thinks that, they're sick or something. I have a feeling that this is going to produce a lot more anxiety and a lot more grief for people. I don't see this as a good thing. Nobody needs this. Nobody needs this thing. Nobody needs the Bitcoin price mood ring. Hey, Plastic. Hello. Oh, no, that was somebody else's message. Sorry. Yeah, mood ring for weekends. Like, who the hell needs that shit? Hey, there we go. Hey, guys. Okay. So let's go. Yeah, nobody needs that mood ring. That's ridiculousness. Total ridiculousness, the mood ring. But it's funny, right? It's I think it's funny. All right. Let's move on from the mood ring. So here we go, guys. Some lightning capacity stuff. This one is from fellow Bitcoiner, Bitcoin Isaiah. One exciting thing going on is that Lightning network capacity is close to hitting new all-time highs for the first time in almost 3 years. I got to agree, it was kind of difficult to watch Lightning. And again, right, this is only the publicly available nodes that we see, right? So according to the publicly available data, we've got approximately 5,400 BTC in Lightning. We have no insight into the private channels, no insight whatsoever. We can't even assume that. I mean, we could, but we would just be completely wrong the entire time. But yeah, I don't know if I've explained this before, but I offer my Bitcoin, well, not all of it, of course, but a small portion of it for Lightning liquidity, just to see how it works, right? To see if I can gain some sats, right? Some sats at the price of providing liquidity. Anyways, so far it's okay. It's not gonna lie, it's not extremely lucrative. I'm pretty much at this point like paying to provide Lightning liquidity, but whatever. We'll see how that goes. Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, no, we already saw this guy. Already saw that guy. So this was actually wrong. This was not Transactionaut. I don't even know who that is. Allows you to explore the Bitcoin blockchain. This is from our boy Ant 2040 data, right? This is Ant stuff. He's the one that did time chain stats and time chain arcade, and now here comes the timechainexplorer.com. This is actually probably one of the coolest renditions of blocks. Up until now, we've had more or less, we've just had 2D versions right? I think like the best thing that we've seen, which is still great, right? Mempool.space. But like, what if you could view the data in a different way? So let's take a little watch here of this little intro video. So this is what happens when you go to the website, right? You can, every single one of these little stars, all of these, like these balls that you see, like this is all, each of those is transactions, right? And you can go take a look, see what fees they're paying, stuff like that. It's like, it's transactions in outer space. Good one, Ant. Very good one. Don't give them any ideas, Frederick, with the interior lighting. It's gonna suck. Yeah, salty crayon, a grief ring. Can you imagine, right? You're sitting there, like, imagine you're one of those people who really gets affected by bear markets. You know, like that ring is just, you're gonna wake up every single day depressed. Yeah, I am not a fan. Not a fan of the ring. Yeah, there you go, man. There's nothing wrong with that, right? One channel, why not? I ran one channel for a really long time. Yes. Could use this data to see topography in a video game. Yes. Man, there's so much cool stuff. It's like, we don't even know what we don't know. And I'm okay with that, right? I'm okay with that. That is totally fine. Okay, so let's move on, guys. The big thing, right? Just a reminder, if you haven't signed the petition yet, please do. This is for Keone and Bill, right? The Samurai devs. Keone has to turn himself in 10 days, I believe. It's 10 or 11 days to go to jail. And I mean, there is a lot of noise being made to attempt to get somebody's attention, at the very least, right? Donald Trump's attention. And there's actually a space, I think, going on right now. The Bitcoin Today space actually has Keone in it right now talking. And last night, he was in another space. Here's from the Free Samurai account. Ross Ulbricht chimed in near the end of the Samurai Wallet Spaces. That's right. So Ross has thrown his support as well. Guys, the links to the donation page are in the show notes as well. So is the link to this particular space in case you want to listen to it. Look, you know, every single one of us, right? We can all stay in our house and, you know, be really happy that, you know, this stuff isn't happening to us until it does, right? Until our privacy is under scrutiny, and it already is indirectly. So, right, this is a lot more. Yeah. Privacy is a human right, and I got to tell you, man, it's absolutely brutal, the precedent that has been set, because these guys are going to jail. Like this is brutal, absolutely brutal stuff. Yeah. Anyways, check it out. Sign the petition. Donate if you feel that you can. You know, it's just kind of sad because we often see other less pressing, much more fun types of things happen in the Bitcoin space that get a lot of support, right? They get a lot of support, and they get a lot of really big names behind them that are pushing for their help. And when something is real, like this is real, right? This is about privacy. And these guys have to beg for help. That says something about us. Okay. That doesn't say something about the guys working at Samurai. That says something about us as individuals. Anyways, guys, tonight, you know the deal. Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward for more privacy tools. 100%. Like, I hope this pisses people off and that they build even more. Right? Make it even more complicated. Don't forget, the government they've never been able to stop Tor. Okay? So let's just be honest, right? This is all a LARP, and they are going to do their damnedest to make us think that we have no privacy. And when I say they, I'm talking about the government, the law, all that stuff, right? I know nobody likes the proverbial they. But yeah, guys, tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we've rebranded the roundtable to Bitcoin Tonight. Shout out to Sir Ulrich for coming up with that one. I like that a lot better than the Bitcoin roundtable. And our roundtable was honestly not seeming like such a roundtable. At best, it was a triangle. right? It wasn't really round. It was much more of a triangle. So yeah, we're doing Bitcoin tonight, and we're going to be switching it up a little bit. Sir Ulrich is going to be the captain of the ship. I am just going to be standing back and hanging out. I'm super excited. Guys, we got a whole lot of stuff to cover, a whole lot of drama, as you know, because the drama never ends in Bitcoin. I hope to see you all there. That's 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We will be streaming, of course, on Rumble, on YouTube, and on Twitter. So have a great rest of the day. Okay, triangles work for Andy. I know, me too, right? I was good. I was good with the triangles as well. I was fine with that. But, yeah, exactly. The name, I totally agree, Salty Crayon. And you know what? Ulrich is going to love that. And also my wife gave the thumbs up for that name. She's like, yeah, that's a better name. Because, yeah, exactly. Everyone is a round table. Got to be special. But we already have been outdone, I should say, because Need Creations, fellow Bitcoiner, he's actually going to be doing a show called Bitcoin Tomorrow. So he's doing Bitcoin in the future. So trying to get ahead by doing Bitcoin tonight. He's going in the future. You know, guys. You know how this goes. We're never going to win. It doesn't matter. All right. So have a great rest of the day, guys. And I will catch you later this evening. Otherwise, if I don't, tomorrow, same time, 12:10 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to dive into all the fun. There is a conference going on right now in Abu Dhabi, right? The Bitcoin MENA. Is it Bitcoin MENA or Bitcoin MENA? I'm not pronouncing that right. Anyways, good stuff. Guys, have a good rest of the day. I'll catch you all later. Take it easy.